Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cropper here. Have you heard that Watson was deployed in the medical field? Watson was the computer that was so brilliant that it won a Jeopardy event. And they have deployed it in the medical field, or they tried to deploy it in the medical field. And for example, they would look at not X-rays, scans of people's eyes. And Watson was better at detecting whatever it was detecting, that it could predict whatever illness better than doctors. It was more able to catch this anomaly than doctors were. And they had this phenomenon with Watson, being able to do things doctors couldn't, more accurately or better by some measure, by some objective measure. Here's the problem. They don't know why. They don't know how. They don't know what's the difference between what they're looking at and what Watson's looking at. They don't know what the difference is in percentage. Why do they get 80% and he gets 87% of whatever? Why? And the reason they don't know why is because it would take a computer many times more powerful than Watson to sort out Watson. So, Watson being the most powerful computer that they have available for the job. I mean, I'm sure the military has more powerful computers, but you can't just go get another Watson. They're not just on the shelf somewhere. So, it's a black box. And this is just proof that humans are going to have to get knowledge by themselves. They're not going to ever be able to make a knowledge machine that'll figure out knowledge, because we won't know what it means. We're going to have to figure it out ourselves, no matter what it does, even if it does something better than us. Here we've got a machine that's doing a better job at curing eye cancer or whatever it is, detecting eye phenomenon. And we can't make use of the knowledge. We can't utilize the knowledge. We can't use it to improve our tools. We can't use it to improve our diagnosis. We can't use it to let humans learn, right? So Watson can't teach us what it's doing. That's interesting. It can't teach us what it's doing. Why can't it teach us? Why can't it impart its knowledge? Because in order to teach, you would have to break your knowledge down into a series of concretes that you give to your student. And then once your student knows the series of concretes, then you point out the similarity between all the concretes. You get the measurement omission, you get the concept. And Watson's not able to say which concretes it used. It doesn't know which concretes it used. It's a warehouse of data. It's a compilation of data. Okay, so what are we saying here? AI, people who wanted AI to take us forward into the brave new world, people who are afraid that AI is dangerous. How could AI ever be as dangerous as the people who started World War II or the Cold War? How could AI ever be as dangerous as Soviet Russia or Islam? How could AI ever kill as many people or hurt as many people as Soviet Russia or Islam? If we're going to be worried about anything in this goddamn world, it should be the philosophy of the people around us, not some supercomputer that's going to do what? Start a world war? We've already started world wars on our own. Alright, so the computers are not coming. The computers are not brilliant. The computers are warehouses of knowledge. They just run programs. Even when they outdo human beings, they still don't have knowledge. We can't use that knowledge. We can't progress with that knowledge. We don't know why Watson is doing what it's doing. It's a black box phenomenon. Alright, there we go. Now, maybe some of you are just sitting there going, well, yeah, duh. But maybe some of you found that interesting. So I hope so. I found this stuff interesting as I found it out over time. I was excited when I heard that Watson was being deployed in the medical field. I thought, well, maybe this is quite a good thing, because we're going to end up with whatever, who knows? But what we ended up with a black box. I didn't know what we had ended up. I thought it was a labor-saving device. Now, Sam Harris does this in Sam Harris number 162, Medical Intelligence, with Eric Topol. And they just talked about it for like 3 minutes. So They didn't say a lot about it, but I just wanted to bring up that latest judgment against computers and against AI, against Watson himself, that it is not the case that it's going to take us into a brave new world. We are going to have to know and understand knowledge at every step of the way as we go. Incidentally, if any of you know very much about computer programming, I am concerned about, or not really, I'm interested in, I'm a little concerned about the idea that there's just too much programming that needs to be done. It's too difficult, and so we're going to have to automatize it. And once we do that, we're going to be just a step or two away from having no idea what's going on in our programs, and everything will appear very organic and bizarre to us. Is that the world we're coming to? Organic computing?